Hi students, welcome to Unacademy NEET English. I know you are seeing me for the first time on this channel. A quick intro of mine. My name is Nikhil Gambhir full name, and I come from Delhi. I will be your chemistry educator for NEET 24 and the years to come on the same channel. We'll be covering the syllabus in detail, everything that is required for the NEET to score maximum marks in chemistry. And as the channel name says, entire content in full English language is what the intent of it. 1 minute of mine here before I tell you something really important for the NEET exam. I come from a teaching background for last 12 years now, more than almost 15,000 students. I have been on YouTube for last 4 years, I should say, 3.5 years on YouTube. I've delivered lectures from my name from other platforms. But yes, now I will be mentoring you in the language that is most convenient for you people. That is going to be English, right? So on this channel with me, we will study all the chapters in line with what is required in NEET, what talks about as the modified syllabus for the NEET exam, and then the strategy would remain gaining marks. That is how our approach would be towards the subject. Yes, we would talk about the concepts in detail, but more intention would be to solve more questions. Because the more we solve, the more we tend to get the same question in the exam. Although you will not get the same question per se, but then there is still a chance if I've solved more than 500 questions of a chapter, all objective, then it might happen that the new question that I'm getting in 24 might be a hybrid of 4 or 5 questions. And being a chemistry child, we always know what is hybridization, right? That a new thing which is independent of the old but is made of old. So that is how we talk about in this throughout the session. Yes, today I'll talk about how quickly will be the turnaround time for if you are not scoring good in chemistry to what you can do to score 160 plus in chemistry. Yes, the primary target could be 130, 140 on 180, but then chemistry is a subject that can definitely give you more than 160, 170 marks. Yes, the key word to it would be NCRT revision. Yes, for biology and chemistry, NCRT plays a vital role. No doubt, NCRT doesn't have objective questions. No doubt, NCRT doesn't have that many questions that are required for you to get 160. However, let me tell you, children, NCRT has almost all the concepts that can help you achieve that score. NCRT has almost all the basics that can help you achieve that score. So quickly I'll tell you three things which we will take up as a part of our special curriculum for NEET 24 so that anybody watching this video gets geared up for the success in the NEET 24. Maybe it's your first attempt, maybe not the first, second, third attempt, but yes, let us try to make this attempt a successful attempt for you so that your dream of becoming a doctor, dream of doing that MBBS, dream of taking that DR in front of your name gets completed 5 years from 24. That is, in 29, we expect all of you watching this video to become doctors. Is what we look forward as a name to this channel, as a name to me coming here for teaching chemistry, and that is how we will take it. Right? Quick things that we talk about in next 5 minutes on how do we talk of 160 plus in chemistry. Yes, so we all know that total chemistry is gonna be with the edited syllabus, I should say, on which we'll talk about more in detail because NTA has released the latest guideline that they will come up with the crisp syllabus next week. So we have a week in that time frame. What all we know is already concrete that this is not gonna change. General organic chemistry, it's not gonna change. Haloalkanes and haloarenes, alcohol phenol ether, aldehyde ketones, they're class 12th. 11th class, hydrocarbons, equilibrium, not gonna change. Yes, solid state, it's an eliminated part from the CBSE syllabus per se, but NTA will get back, I think, next week as they mentioned, that will it be a part of the NEET syllabus or will it not be a part of the NEET syllabus? But what I want to say is that when I talk about 160 plus marks in chemistry, so here my bacha party is what I generally call my students as the bacha party. So, Bacha Party, what we would have to see is that your total chemistry is for three subparts, right? One is organic, inorganic, and physical. Correct? Organic, inorganic, and then physical. I just hope that my writing is legible for you. Although I will have a better sitting setup for the next class onwards. Right now, I'm standing and delivering this so that it becomes more clear. And yes, we will have the question answer sessions also so that the concept becomes more clear there. Yes, organic, inorganic, physical. Being the NEET aspirants, we know the chapters that are covered here in physical or organic or inorganic. But why I want to highlight more here is that when we talk about physical, the key chapters that take me to 160, if I talk about 11th, if I talk about 12th. So 11th class, my atomic structure, atom I can say, atomic structure, chapter number 2 of the book 1. Then third chapter periodic, nah, it's very basic. Periodic chapter, we can say it's a common chapter for P block, S block, D block. So that is gonna be covered in the other chapters also. So when I say physical chemistry, chapter 2, then most important, the concepts of chapter 4, which is states of matter. Although this chapter is now eliminated from the NCRTs, from the CBSE board specially, yet this chapter has few important concepts that can be questioned in some other chapter. For example, this chapter talks about Dalton's law of partial pressure. We know that's Dalton's law of partial pressure. We know this, right? This chapter also talks about PV equals nRT, ideal gas equation. Although this chapter, if it gets eliminated, no problem. But then when you go to thermo, when you go to equilibrium, you get gases. There you convert PV equal nRT, Kp Kc conversions, Kp equilibrium constant pressure, Kc equilibrium constant concentration, that Kp Kc conversion. So whenever it is gases, PV equals nRT is something the bread and butter of gases, right? So PV equals nRT comes from the chapter which is states of matter. So therein, even if this chapter goes away, this chapter has a lot of things to take care. So by that time, when we talk about it, what do I say? That when it comes to states of matter, even if it is eliminated, then also we should be aware about its basics. Right? The next chapter that we have in the class 11th itself is gonna be equilibrium. Yes. Now equilibrium to some students see it a little bit. It's a little difficult. Yes, because it is two components, ionic and chemical. Chemical easy, ionic very very difficult, sir. Very very difficult. But we have to, because equilibrium, since there are kind of three brackets, physical, chemical, and ionic, tends to give me minimum two questions. And when I say two questions, I always mean to say that I get 8 marks from the equilibrium itself. 8 marks is huge. 8 marks is really huge in need. That can make the difference for you. So equilibrium is something which needs special attention. Thermo, okay, yes we have to, but okay. Presently when I say 160, okay, we will talk about thermo a little later. The second book, no physical chemistry chapter. Yes, redox is there. Balancing equation, easy. We will not talk about it because I'll tell you a technique wherein the balancing can be taken care in P block also. Or P block, once we are doing, we'll talk about, okay, this is redox. Because a part of redox we will talk about in electrochemistry as well. So therein, when we talk about the next chapter, when we come to 12th class, we talk about something which is called as solutions. Solutions, why? Because it has a Van 't Hoff factor concept. So Van 't Hoff factor is a little thing which needs to be practiced. If we don't practice it, we lose it. Simple. The question will not say, okay, what is the I of aluminium sulfate? Okay, aluminium sulfate becomes 2Al3 plus SO4 2 minus and no, no, no. It can happen a full-fledged numerical also, for which we need to be prepared about. Right? Then solutions. Then we have electro. Electro, as I mentioned, since we deleted our redox there, so electro needs to be taken in detail. And last but not the least is my chemical kinetics. You do these things and we are almost done with physical chemistry. So there is surface chemistry. Okay, no problem. Only theoretical. solve the questions, throw it out, no problem. Sir, coordination compounds, we will talk about it. Coordination is also a very important chapter, but we will talk about it. Lot of good terms: geometrical isomerism, stereoisomerism, structural isomerism. Then your D block is being questioned: nickel, chromium, iron. All this is the 3D series. So we will talk about coordination. It's a very easy but very interesting and important chapter. So we will talk about it. So when it comes to physical, how many chapters you see? Atom, states of matter, equilibrium, 3, and then 12th also 3. Total 6 chapters, and you are through. Remember, guys, you do these 6 chapters means we do these 6 chapters, and in the paper we are through 40-45 marks. We are done with that. Why? Because I am not saying that these 6 chapters will give you 10 questions, 12 questions. No. 6 chapters, 10 questions, bare minimum. You will have it on the paper, no problem. 10 questions, 40 marks. We are through. But important is that these chapters have implications on other chapters also. That is why if I know states of matter, there are chances I can at least guess the thermodynamics question. I know P block, which I'll talk about in inorganic. There are chances I'll attempt redox also. That is how it goes. Okay, I know redox. I know electrochemistry. Redox is what I already know. That is how it goes. Reduction potential, oxidation potential. The only one thing in redox which you don't know for now is the balancing. Nothing else. So therein you get 6 chapters and you get 40, 45, 50 threshold marks you get out of these. Only 6 chapters. Remember that. So now when I say this physical, I say 6 chapters gives you 40 to 50 marks. So now in case any of you knows these 6 chapters, yes, you're already in the race. Yes, you're already through 50, not 50, say 30% of the chemistry paper. 6 chapters. Same about when you talk about organic, there are two classifications, although most of the organic is covered in class 12th. No doubt. And dividing organic chapter wise might not be an intelligent decision also. But yes, when we talk about organic, the first chapter that gives us 3 to 4 questions is GOC. So when I say 3 questions, I mean 15 marks, 12 to 16 marks, 3 to 4 questions. So GOC itself will give me 15. Then we have hydrocarbons. It is very difficult to segregate organic per se, but yes, GOC and hydrocarbons together gives me 6 questions. 11th organic gives me 6 questions, means 24 marks in the 2 chapters. And yes, once you're through GOC, you know what is resonance, you know what is hyperconjugation, you know what is inductive, plus I, minus I, electron repulsion, electron attraction, plus R, plus E, minus E. All those terms you know in the GOC and you are through. Because when you go to 12th class, haloalkanes, plus R, minus I. Alcohol, phenol, plus R, minus I. Phenols are plus R, right? Ethers, plus R. Anisole, benzene, phenyl, OCH3 above it. O has a lone pair, plus R, and all those things. And where you are reading these things, GOC. So once you're through GOC, might take you 15 days as well to freshen up GOC, to read GOC, to solve GOC. 15 days, take it. Because 15 days will save you another 15 in class 12th. Is gonna be the trick for organic. The chapter which we most focus on is gonna be GOC. And yes, GOC, haloalkanes is okay, a simple chapter per se, mostly talks about SN1, SN2 and chirality. Because SN1 is nucleophilic substitution unimolecular, sir, we know about it. Yes, it's good that you know about it, but always remember SN1 is carbocation and SN2 is steric hindrance. Yes, moving forward will be covered in your syllabus also. But remember, guys, SN1 is carbocation, carbocation, planar, above the plane, down the plane, enantiomers, chirality, and all those things, diastereomers, things happen. And each step, one by one, you take it and you are through. So that is how this is going to be done. This is going to be taken care. Number one. Number two, now halo is done. Come to alcohol phenol ether. Remember alcohol phenol ether and aldehyde ketones and acids. These two chapters you can never escape reading. You cannot. escape its reading. What I'm talking about is alkophenol, the chapter number 2 of book 2 of class 12th, and then alkophenol and aldehyde. You are done with these two chapters and you get another six questions. You get four organic chapters and 12 questions. 12 questions means again 50 marks. We did it. So physical chemistry, six chapters, organic chemistry, four chapters. Again, I would say it is not that amines is not important. It is not that biomolecules is not, it is not about DNA, RNA is not important. But for a bio student who is preparing on this channel, DNA, RNA is more covered in biology compared to biomolecules. Yes, we talk about essential vitamins, non-essential vitamins, and whatever things, but it is more covered in biology, and you know it well. So let us not spend time on the biomolecules chapter when we know that we are reading it only for the sake of reading and we know the questions better compared to the people who are not even reading biology. So that is where if you know biomolecules, one chapter done, bare minimum 4 marks is in my pocket. That is also possible. Now, last but not the least, the most boring, the most, now it's very trending, so beautiful, so elegant, and all those things. So now it's so theoretical, so boring, and very, very lengthy is your inorganic chemistry. But the problem with this is that even inorganic has a lot of marks to give you. Inorganic also out of 180 marks in the paper is definitely going to throw you minimum 50 marks. Minimum. Say 48 marks would mean 12 questions. So remember guys, when I say inorganic, inorganic has a very, very typical approach to follow. And how do I follow that? So when I talk about inorganic, the first chapter that we talk about in detail, which is a hybrid of all the chapters, I should say, is periodic. And I'm reading it only for the sake of reading it. That's it. I will not talk about D block here, S block here, but it will give you overall glimpse. Okay, this is group 1, group 2, S block, P block, D block, then F block has no group numbers, it has only period numbers. Then we have 18 groups, 7 periods, all those things in periodic. Yes, the second most important chapter that you talk about here in inorganic is gonna be P block. Half of the P block, two groups are there in 11th, and another six groups are there in 12th. Another four, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Total six, two are in 11th, and four are in 12th. P block gives me minimum three questions. Minimum. Because P block, everybody knows it's a elaborate chapter. P block talks about a lot of things: inert pair effect, oxidation state, stability, carbonates, bicarbonates, solubility, and everything. But concepts are same. And inorganic chemistry is always infamous for exceptions, right? So you talk about a lot of exceptions here, but then the only trick to solve inorganic that I see from last 10 years of my experience, 12 years of my experience, is the more I solve, the more I bet upon. My tukka, my guess will also be better if I solve more. Right? So now what I'm saying is that inorganic will come more by the question practice. You are through it, done. Yes, accuracy is definitely a concern. You know that, you are right. You don't know it, you are blank. So, what we talk about is an intelligent guess in the inorganic chemistry. But when we talk about the chapters, because we're talking about 160, 150 marks in the chemistry, 50 marks from 4 organic, 50 marks from 6 physical, 3 chapters physical, 3 to 4 chapters that give you maximum marks, P block, and then I should say D block. Metallurgy, yes, one question it will give you. And then I should say by everyday life, all these chapters we tend to just read it and solve, but one chapter each question, one question each chapter can be given to you. However, remember guys, my main intention of doing it would be I read P block, and definitely the next thing I'm gonna do is read D block. D block also because it has a lot of permanganate and dichromate properties, +6 to +3, +7 to +2, +7 say +4. all those things happening in the D block. And D block gives me a glimpse of redox balancing also. So it's done there. I know balancing, I know half the D block. Yes, two chapters together. So inorganic also, basis of periodicity, P block, D block, and a little I should say, because when you do all these things, you get a glimpse of the normal trends, you get a glimpse of what is diagonal relationship. Everything has a different thing. S block diagonal, P block inert pair, D block, sorry, this D block lanthanoid contraction, and actinoid contraction, F block. So every block has a separate concept. How many? Simple. S block diagonal. I'll be same with my diagonal. Then P block inert pair. The down I go, S electrons, no bonding. The down I go, S electrons, no bonding. Inert pair effect. D, lanthanoid contraction I was talking about. The farther I go, D and F comes in between. They are poor, no bonding. S electrons, no bonding. The size gets decreased. So even if I'm going far, the size gets decreased. Lanthanoid contraction. So we talk about it chapter by chapter. So inorganic also a little difficult per se. Why? Because you people are really bad in reading, but it is also an easy thing to do about. Right? Remember, guys, 30 chapters in total if we talk about the uneliminated syllabus, out of which you do 50% of the syllabus and you get 80% of the marks. 50% of the syllabus gives you 80% of the marks. 50% of the syllabus gives you 80% of the marks. Means 15 chapters gives me almost 150 marks. 15 chapters, 150 marks is the total psychology that you have to play in chemistry. Of which the 4 chapters of inorganic, typically question solving, read NCERT, question solve. Organic, read NCERT, solve more questions. Physical chemistry, read formulas, solve questions, and then go back to NCERT. Because physical chemistry is numerical chemistry, right? Although organic also now this much percentage carbon, this much hydrogen, nitrogen, and all those things happening, but still organic has a lot of concepts to discuss. Physical, more of the numericals, means formula, and then inorganic, only yes no, that type of knowledge. So for organic, concept matters, inorganic, practice matters, and physical, practice plus formula knowledge matters. So here we summarize this call that always remember 15 chapters, aldi, alco, then aldi, alco, GOC, hydrocarbons. 4 chapters organic, done. Physical, atomic structure, states of matter, then electrokinetics. 4 chapters, done. Solutions also. 5 chapters, done. 50 marks. Inorganic, periodicity, basic periodic classification. P block, T block, almost 30-35 marks, and we lock 120 marks in our pocket. The more we do inorganic, and the more we start gaining numbers. Every chapter will give you one question bare minimum, so be it everyday life, be it your environmental chemistry in class 11. Each chapter has a weightage which we will be able to talk about more when the revised syllabus is available. However, always remember that 150, 155 is always achievable in chemistry. If you've not started yet, no problem. But always remember, guys, you will start one day or you will start day one. So it's one day or day one. Let today be the day one of your 15 chapter 150 mark strategy. Let today be the day one. Because if you start soon, you end well. Yes, slow and steady wins the race. No problem. But for that, even the slow should start. Nobody tells to start late. People say to start and be steady. You need not be fast enough in the starting. Towards the end, you have to be fast also. But yes, you have to be steady. Each day, some knowledge, one. And after 5 days, I'll have a lot of things in my brain. And that is how the value gets added. Anyways, again, I welcome you. Small thing, my name is Nikhil, and I'll be teaching chemistry over this channel. A lot of things to discuss moving forward. So see you in the next video, and where we start with the syllabus also. Remember the keywords: 15 chapters, 150 marks, day 1. See you guys.